Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. This is going to be a bit of a different video. I've seen recently on the interwebs, and I hate that it's happening. This is why I'm making this video. A large part of the traditional financial world, and even more so as well, the cryptocurrency space, has to do with scaring people. Scary stuff sells. Any type of fear or panic that can be induced or pushed into the market is going to produce a certain type of result. Over the course of the last 10 or so years that I've actively been involved in the traditional financial sector and then swung on over to the cryptocurrency space, I've noticed there have been a very large amount of people who have kind of made a name for themselves when it comes to terrifying people. The more you can scare someone and make them believe that something is going to happen, the more they're willing to listen to you, especially if you actually end up being correct, which I'm also going to explain as well. Part of the problem is that we do not know what the actual cause of their idea typically is. In that, are you doing it to be a good person? Are you doing it because you actually legitimately believe that this event is going to happen? Are you doing it because you figured out a way to bring down the market, terrify people, and therefore then make tons of money? We've seen this before with banks and other institutions. We saw this in 2020 and 2021 when we had the entire Wall Street bets thing and the GameStop stock thing, where all these billionaires were going on to CNBC and Fox Business and telling everyone essentially how dumb they were for investing. The idea is that they wanted to short these stocks so that the company could make billions. The idea of normal people making money was terrible and egregious. Why are you in the stock market? Why are you a normal person trying to make money? When I said that I've seen this on the internet very recently, there seems to be a little trend going on where a lot of people are making videos about Michael Burry. For those of you who have never seen the movie The Big Short, one, go and see it. It's not too bad of a movie. Two, the star of that movie was the character who was played by the guy who played Michael Burry. The idea being is that in 2006, 7, and 8, this guy saw this tremendous crash that was going to happen to the world markets, and therefore, he called it correct, and everyone followed him or didn't follow him, and those who did ended up making huge amounts of money. Not a spoiler for the movie, but you can kind of guess what a movie about finance is going to be. It's not going to be like everyone lost their money. There's always going to be people who come out on top. The issue that I have is that a lot of people have been making YouTube videos talking about this guy's latest prediction. For those of you who have not seen it, maybe it has begun to pop up on the screen already over the course of the last time, whatever. This guy made a prediction that basically the stock market is going to crash in 2023, and it is going to be the most horrific, terrible, horrible, wondrously maleficent thing that we've ever seen in our entire lives. So upon seeing these videos popping up on my timeline, on my suggested, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I began to, as always, dig a bit deeper. The internet is free. All the information that we need to research stuff is out there for us for free. Notice my unsurprise when, now they should also be popping up again. Notice my unsurprise when I found a large amount of articles dating back from 2013, 14 to 15, where this guy, Michael Burry, basically every single year came out and announced that the stock market was going to crash, that he saw a tremendous amount of stress in the market. The economy wasn't going to do good. Part of the problem with things like this is, I mentioned this in other earlier videos on this channel, maybe even the other one. Things like that scare normal people, everyday people, from getting into markets. If you at some point saw the movie, the Big Short, if at some point you had a friend who was into finance who believed that movie and then told you should not put your money into the market because things are going to crash, what happens? You don't put your money into the market. You wait a large number of years to do anything that has to do with finance. This is also true for the time frame of 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, where a lot of people were not buying real estate. Why were they not buying real estate? Because they were constantly told that we were on the cusp of another major financial crash in prices. I still do, what am I talking about? I watch a lot of shows that have to do with like international real estate. And for some odd reason, the UK has a lot of pretty good ones. There's one called Location. It's not for everyone, but it's a pretty good show. And a lot of other ones that are also out there. Back to the point, the idea is that I'll never forget one of the episodes where this couple, they were looking at tons of houses. And this guy, every time that they found something that was like spectacular, he didn't seem too happy. And they're relatively transparent on the show. So like you hear them talking like openly. And the sales agent was like, why don't you want to buy? He's like, because the market's going to crash soon. And she's like, I'm not too sure about that. Where are you hearing that from? He's like, yeah, I heard it from a friend. Now is not a really good time to buy. I think this couple even came back 2 years later to look for more stuff on the show. And they still found nothing. The guy had the same exact opinion that the market was about to crash. It's 2015. What are you talking about? Everything's about to completely crumble. Because he heard in 2013, in 2012, and 2011 that things were going to fall. For those of you who do not know anything about London real estate, 2011, 2012, 13, you would find people who would fight you in the street for a time machine that could bring them back to that time in London. You were able to buy a 1 to 2 bedroom house, detached, semi-detached, £220,000. These things are going for like 1.3 million. It's insane how much prices have continued rising, but it's the same exact thing with what we're currently hearing right now, what we heard in 2020, what we heard in 2021, etc., etc., etc. Remember 2020 housing prices are going to crash. Things are going to completely fall apart. And then we started hearing that all these like mega institutions were buying up hundreds of homes, thousands of homes in different states and places around the world every single day. How funny that they were telling people that everything was going to crash, but they were just simply buying at a lower price as everyone else was panic selling. Not to say that this guy doesn't truly believe what he's saying. I don't know him. I'm not in his mind. I can't tell you. However, at this point, you've seen all the stuff that popped up on the screen. Part of the problem is that people like this keep other people out of the market. The more that you continue to say that something terrible is going to happen, the more that other people end up believing it. It's the same exact thing with the cryptocurrency market. If everyone screams crash, bubble, falling apart, when Bitcoin's $1,000, you stop millions of other people from getting into the market because they end up being too afraid. I don't want to put my money into the market that's about to crash. I worked really hard for this money. What am I supposed to do? And upon seeing, same as you, that this guy's been saying this every single year for nearly the past decade is just insane. For those of you who missed it, he also has recently put down $1.6 billion in saying that he thinks that this crash is going to happen sometime this year. One, if the crash does happen, cool. Crashes happen all the time. It's just a market cycle. That's just how simply things are. But I say this lightly. If there is no crash, if the world's economy doesn't completely fall to zero over the course of this year, he will have successfully gotten tens of thousands, if not low millions of people who could have been optimistic about the market and put their money into it and simply made money. One of the biggest things, we're going to end it close here. One of the biggest things that's always struck me from when I was a kid was not, this is true, that my family didn't really invest. And I remember asking them years later, why didn't you invest? Why didn't you put money away? And they were told that the stock market and other markets were scams by other people who continuously told them that the prices were going to fall. So they didn't put money into any market. And I sat there thinking, I was like, if my family had put a couple $100 each month into the market since the 90s, we'd excuse my French here, we'd be balling right now, just completely. But alas, just wanted to make this video to let you know that not everything is scary. Not everything is horrifying. All of these videos of these analysts talking about that prices are going to fall, collapse, Bitcoin's going down to zero. These people don't end up being correct, but the problem is that you get famous once. You say one thing correct once, and everyone follows you as if you are this kind of mastermind, but all they're helping to do is helping people lose tons of money when they could have gotten into the market. Yeah, like I said, bit of a different video. I hope it helped someone out there. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for... That was the camera again. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.